All right, guys. So I want to bring you guys an update concerning the sister I posted here earlier, who was in on a transit to Nigeria, who was flying to Nigeria, but along the way she was stopped at is it Turkey, and they didn't give her any reservation, and neither did they allow her to leave the airport because they said that her passport as a Nigerian does not qualify her to leave the airport or even secure a lodge in the hotel there. The airport should call them out as the country and also the airline, for not giving reservations to Nigerians. So some people complained that the Nigerian passport has become of no value. Okay, these things has been happening for a very long time because I think the government is not placing priority on their citizens, and that is why many countries are seeing Nigerians, as undervalued people. They don't really care about the passport. They don't really recognize anything coming from Nigeria. The same way you travel abroad to other countries with your driver's license or whatever you have, and they will be doubting it, and they will say that you can't drive with those driver's license. But when others bring theirs, they accept them. The same thing happened to. Let us take a look at the video. She has appreciated all the people who contributed. So I said, okay, let me finish the whole story so you guys understand how it started and how it went. Now watch her second video.
Hi guys, thank you so much for all your calls, your text, posting on your stories, posting on the different blogs. Thank you to all the blogs that carried my story yesterday. I really appreciate it because that was the only form of, comfort I could get at such a difficult time. Now, I have been to 70 countries. As a matter of fact, I was on my way back from my 70th country when I had this experience at the Istanbul airport. And this is by far the worst travel experience I ever had in my entire life because of how I was made to feel. Now, I'll put a few things in perspective for you. So these two bags, these are two Turkish airline care packages. Now, I got this one on my flight from Houston to Istanbul. And I got this one back on my flight from Istanbul to Nigeria. Now, I'll take the liberty to let you into the contents of both bags very quickly. Now, we have a pair of socks. We have eye mask. We have earplugs and a piece of paper. So this is it, Turkish Airlines, right? And then for this bag, we have toothbrush and toothpaste, an eye mask, okay, a pair of socks, a pair of slippers, wow, earplugs, lip balm, and a piece of paper. Wow. Turkish Airlines. The first one was my flight from Istanbul to Nigeria, and this one was my flight from Houston to Istanbul. I don't think there's much to say here, but for the discerning mind, I'm pretty sure you understand this. And these are some of the things that we've had to deal with for so many years, and people have been quiet about it. To put things in perspective, again, it's clearly stated on the Turkish airline website that Nigerians are eligible for the stopover program. Okay. I checked this out before I went ahead and booked my ticket. It's clearly stated there. If you have a long layover, 21 hours, and I booked my ticket, it wasn't a problem. As a matter of fact, that was the only flight available for that particular day. There were no shorter layover periods, both on the 12th and on the 13th. So eventually, I booked it. They were going to give me a hotel. It was no big deal. On getting to the airport, they say no. Yes, you are eligible for the program. Mm-hmm. However, because you do not have a visa, and we no longer give visas at the airport to Nigerian citizens, you have to get it from the consulate. We cannot get you a hotel in town, which is very understandable. I don't expect them to change their laws because of me. However, I said, okay, that's fine. But there are hotels at the airport. Okay. So it's okay. I can take any of the hotels at the airport, only for which, of course, you bear the cost. Mm-hmm. And they said no. And this left me wondering, is it really because I do not have a visa that I am not being taken to town to get an accommodation? Or is it because they choose not to give me an accommodation at all? Because there are hotels right within the airport. And this really got me thinking. I mean, I thought far and wide, but it made no sense to me at all. If someone pays the same amount of money as me for a ticket and they are able to enjoy the benefits of the stopover program, if I'm paying the same amount of money as well, I should get my own benefits too. I'm not asking for you to take me into Istanbul without a visa. But the purpose of going to Istanbul basically is to get me a hotel, an accommodation. Well, there are accommodations within the airport, so I might as well get one. But they say no. If I have to stay in a hotel at the airport, then I have to bear the cost of this. And now I'm thinking to myself, so if one set of passengers, based off their passport or nationality, get the benefits of the free stopover program, you do know that I would not get access into Turkey because I do not have a visa. So what arrangements have you made for me? I'm also a valid paying client. I'm not begging for anything here. This is part of the service that is supposed to be rendered to me for the monies that I paid your company and for what was clearly stated on your website. So I find that it's just a really clever way to cover up themselves from seeming like people who are just being or trying to break IATA laws. Now, according to IATA laws, no airline is supposed to hold a passenger at the airport for longer than between 8 to 9 hours without providing accommodation for them. Now, IATA is the governing body that basically sanctions airlines or agencies, if they go against the rules. So, I mean, it's only clever to put it on your website so that you can lure unsuspecting people like me that you will give me an accommodation to cover yourself. However, you do know that at the end of the day, I'm not getting an accommodation because you no longer give visas at the airport. Am I going to go to the consulate and apply for a visa because I want to travel through Turkey? I'm not going into Turkey. But just because I have to spend the layover, then I want to apply for a visa that costs almost 300,000 naira. So it was just a really clever way, and it's right there on their website. And when this story was posted yesterday, it's unbelievable the amount of people who came forward to say they experienced the same thing. I was stunned by the numbers, not just on my page, but on all the blogs that carried the story. However, people have been quiet. It was really difficult for me to put up such a vulnerable moment. I mean, I really don't want people seeing me that way. I'm a happy, lucky go person. If you look through my page, I'm just a happy person. And the last thing I wanted anyone to see was to see me like that. But then again, I decided, as against myself, I think it was much better to let other people know about this experience so that at least less people will suffer what I had to suffer at the airport. Turkish Airlines needs to be held accountable. They treat Nigerians with a lot of discrimination. Now, my experience was even made worse by the staff at the Turkish airline help desk. They are very dismissive. They are very rude. They have no ounce of sympathy flowing in their veins. And if you have ever flown through Turkish airport or you have used their airline, you can agree with me. If you have, they're very dismissive in the way they treat people, especially Nigerians. And for me, I will call it what it is. It's pure discrimination, and it's unacceptable. You don't have to like me, but if I'm paying you for a service, you need to deliver. If you have a stopover program for people with 21-hour layovers, then it should include me as well. If I cannot get into town and you do know that I will not be able to get into town, then you might as well give me accommodation within the airport. But don't come under the guise of because I do not have a visa, completely deny me accommodation and leave me in the airport for 21 hours. Now I had to pay for an accommodation by myself at the airport. This cost me almost $200 for a tiny little hotel space from 8 p.m. in the evening till 9 a.m. in the morning. 9 a.m. you have to check out. And my flight was 2 p.m. in the afternoon. IATA, if you are seeing this, you do need to do something. You cannot be quiet, except, of course, Turkish Airlines believes they are above the law. But you need to investigate this. Thank you, guys.
My people, I believe you guys have heard this story. This is what we face as Nigerians. This is what we're facing as Nigerians. I don't, in fact, it is starting from the government. Let me know, my sister, is starting from the government of Nigeria. They are the ones that will place priority on their citizens. Once your government place value on you as a citizen, then every country is obliged to, work according to your government. It is what the government makes you that other people will value you with. So that is my own take on this. So it is not with IATA, it is not with the airline. No, it is with your government. If they place value on you and say, oh, this guy is what, our citizens are, we value them. Outsiders will value you. But if your government does not value you, nobody else is going to value you. I think that makes sense. Let me know your own experience or what you think about what she has said here. Thank you very much, and share this video so that others will also know about this particular story of hers. Thank you.